Good afternoon, everybody. Again, like, I don't know why it's such a big deal if it's only used, if the thumbnail is made used only assets I own or have access to. All I did was have the AI rearrange stuff that was on a poster that I already had access to. Cares? Reddit cares. They care a lot. Like, and I'm somebody who hates generative AI, but again, it's not like I'm using assets from anything else. It's basically the equivalent of having AI do the Photoshop for me, which I have no idea how to do and can't be bothered to learn because it's not worth it. Do I like Reddit? In general, yes, I like Reddit. Much more than my current rating. I've lost almost 100 rating today. I was at 2070 something. Now I'm at 1982. Frickin' classic. How is the date? I mean, it's like, you know, she's coming in from out of town and she wants to just be like a guy to hang out with and take her to some stuff, except her host basically showed her a lot of the major stuff I wanted to show her already, so she was really tired when I saw her, and then there wasn't anything remotely romantic about it. Which it's like, making new friends isn't a bad thing. In fact, it's almost always a good thing. But my life is not lacking friends right now. It's lacking any romance. That's the struggle. Right, we're done with the draft yet? Yes, we are. Italians, Cumans, Celts, Mayans? What? Why would you ban Mayans? They're like one of the worst civs. I guess they just wanted to not have to play them or play with better civs. Yeah, Mapuche are definitely not good on Black Forest. I think, yeah, they're admin banned anyway. It's all the rage? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That I'm jobless? I mean, I'm not jobless. I do have this, but I mean, I'm still trying to get better employment, but it's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm trying to get a job. It's just, you know, nothing really like super career oriented right now. Come on, guys, make the lobby. I mean, they got a bunch of good civs. I mean, the problem is that the sacrifices I've made to my streaming/content creating career to try and get a job has me in a situation where the streaming isn't really, you know, not doing much for me right now, /YouTube isn't doing much for me right now, but I also still don't have a job. So it's basically killing all of my short-term income while also not actually getting me any long-term income yet. Which makes me feel pretty stupid right now, but whatever. There are random bans. So basically they random ban half the Civ roster. They get 2 bans each, and then they just pick the rest of the Civs. Sharks will do that for free, yeah. University gig? I'll probably get paid a little bit eventually. University programs are notoriously slow at actually paying anything, and it's not going to be much. They are overrated. I mean, the whole thing with sharks, and it's like, oh, sharks don't really kill that many people. It's just because people don't actually interact with sharks. I feel like the percentage of fatal encounters or horribly maiming encounters with sharks is actually really high. It's just, again, it doesn't happen very often, so... You know, the actual numbers are extremely low. Register as a foreign agent? I have no idea. Come on, guys, make the lobby. Sats are on your side. Aren't you supposed to hit them in the nose or something? Although that'd be really hard because, like, you know, you go for the nose and then they open your mouth and then they chomp your arm off, so, you know. That's not what you want. The gills? Ah, my bad. A hippo in its pond? Yeah. Well, I don't know if hippo fatalities are much greater than sharks because hippos are significantly more dangerous than sharks. I mean, I would consider both to be extremely dangerous, but rather the fact that humans come into contact with hippos a lot more than they come into contact with sharks. What with hippos living on the land and water and sharks just living in the water. They're the most deadly animal in the world, other than mosquitoes. I'm pretty sure they're responsible for more direct deaths than anything else. And mosquitoes don't actually kill you. Mosquitoes are just a vector for a bunch of diseases that kill you. Same with ticks. A hippo or a rhino? I don't know. I imagine it would be close enough that they would probably injure each other horribly. For the hippo lovers are screwed, man. They're doomed. Alright. We are getting the lobby finally, so hopefully it won't be too much longer. Then we'll get into game number 1. I'll be right back. All right. They have the lobby. We'll have to see what civs they want to go for, and we'll get into this. I hope. I can dream. Ow. Go Team Andy. I'm on Team Let's Start the Game already. It's 18 minutes past the scheduled start date. Time. More exciting than Arena? Absolutely. Early game Arena doesn't really do anything. You don't do anything interesting casting-wise. Whereas in Rage Force, there's like Vil fighting and stuff immediately. But even without that, it's just in a 4v4 in general, you have so much to talk about. You have to talk about the choke points. You have to talk about the pawns. You have to talk about the civs. You have to talk about the teams. There's a lot to talk about. Come on, guys, start the game. You ate a lot of fast food? No. Could I still eat healthier than I do? Yeah, of course. Come on, start. Exactly. There we go. And I failed to download match content. Do I eat my food fast? I do, actually. I tend to just, like, plow through my food super fast. The fastest food I've ever eaten. I've had ostrich. They go pretty fast, don't they? All right, Rage Forest 6 stage. It is a play all 3. We're using yeah, whatever. Is the fastest. Depends on whether it's, you know, or talking about its current state or whether it's alive or not right now. Anyway, guys, here we go. It is the first group stage match between Team Andy and Team Kingstone. We will have Andy in the orange as the Turks, coming out swinging with a very powerful civ. He'll be on the east flank for his team. Vodka's going to be in the purple as the Slavs in the pocket. Metyu is going to be the yellow Tatars in the other pocket. And Chaos to Win is going to be the red Aztecs on the west flank. Very spiderwebby sort of map. New job found? Why would you assume that I found a new job? Anyway, Dobbs is going to be the blue Vikings here to the west. Dogao is going to be the green Franks in the pocket. Phillips is going to be the cyan Georgians in the other pocket. And Kingstone himself is going to be the gray Malay on the east flank. So you're getting that Vikings plus Malay Fishboom combo. AI. But again, it's like not super AI. Fall to fly? That would be gross. I would freak out. Indeed, it is pawns galore. We're looking at 4 per side, so in theory, everybody should be fish booming. Which is unfortunate because we have Aztecs and Slavs here who would both rather farm. Turks and Tatars are fine doing either. Vikings... Honestly, you have the cheaper docks, but also you have the free wheelbarrow and handcart, so you kind of are okay either way when it comes to eco. Franks would rather farm, but not by that much. Georgians are fine either way, but would slightly rather... Well, the thing is, the fortified churches don't improve the work speed of fishing ships. So you really don't get to make use of your primary eco bonus, but you can get your fishing ships out early thanks to the free mule cart. And then Malay, of course, would rather fish boom. Anyway, lots of scuffling happening over here. We're looking at 4 distinct choke points. Oh, Totter high ground you have to keep in mind. Double pond? I don't think so. I think everyone's just gonna fish boom in their pond. And, like, not only is it 4 ponds, but this is the only forward pond, and Chaos to win, of course, I'm sure, recognizing that, made sure he got the good forward early wall, so he has plenty of space to fish boom. I mean, it would be absolutely silly. This pond is also a little bit forward, I guess, and I say that especially because these walls are over here, so you have to be super careful as Metyu. Lots and lots of elephants as well. Quick Civ analysis. Malay have a better eco than Turks, and with the pond have one of the best ecos out there, especially if you're doing like a low TC count, fast imp sort of thing. That said, the Turks have such a better army over the course of the game that Malay are going to want to end things fast. Either that or just stall up on this side and take advantage of the fact that Turks don't get onagers that would require assistance from Vodka. Right out? Aw, feels bad, man. Other flank matchup, Aztecs versus Vikings. Aztecs are very obviously better. That said, Vikings tend to make a lot of cheap but weak units, which isn't as good for the Aztec monk play. So it's not like it's a complete disaster for Dobbs, but yeah, I mean, Aztecs are still a lot better over the course of a game. They can also add in Jaguar Warriors, obviously they're monks and siege onagers, none of which Vikings are going to do quite as well. I mean, yeah, he is now. There was like a big fight here with the scouts earlier, but as everything seems to have gotten cleared up, now we're just looking at that wall coming in, which is super important because the pond is right there. Anyway, pocket combos, Slavs and Tatars. You have the top tier pocket and Slavs, although you are fish booming, which is a little awkward, but still, Slavs, one of the best late games out there. No bombard cannon is really your only weakness. Every other unit you make is going to be very good. And then Tatars, it's a bit weird because you tend to go Keshiks. And Keshiks are very cost-efficient units, but they're not going to perform well into better heavy cavalry like the Franked Paladins, which is exactly what's going to be coming in for Dogao. So Frank's definitely going to be better than Tatars here. That said, Tatars do have fully upgraded heavy camels, and they have cav archers, so it's not like you don't have any options, but Franks in general, for the role that you are filling, a lot better. And as far as an infantry siege civ goes, the actual army is better for Slavs than for Georgians, but Georgians have the spawn towers, which are so absurdly difficult to deal with. Relic's bugged? I mean, relics spawn in forests all the time. It's just what happens on this map. It's just 4 of them, actually. Oh, nope, this one's accessible. Medium cav units? I mean, it's not an official term, but yes, I consider them a medium cavalry unit. Cheaper than a knight, faster movement speed, lower armor and damage. Other medium cavalry units would be things like Tarkans. Other stuff as well. The latest as well. Fusilier are kind of awkward because they have the same speed as a knight and the same armor as a knight, but they are cheaper. So they're kind of, sort of, and they have much lower base attack, but the charge attack. It's kind of like you have aspects of the more medium cav unique units and aspects of the heavier cav unique units. But again, these are just general frameworks that I use sometimes to better classify all the different units in the game. Yeah, despite all of the different choke points here that players have, have to defend, nobody's really done anything terribly aggressive so far. Everyone was just focused on walling up. Overall ecos, exactly the same between the two teams. Like I said, everybody's got a pond. Nobody's ponds are in danger. The Jurians definitely are. Iron Pagoda, they are faster than Knights. They also have much cheaper gold cost, but their food cost is also pretty high, so you could just think of them maybe as like a medium to heavy cav. Like low gold cost but high food cost. Also, their stats are much more like a knight. I mean, there's no perfect one-to-one comparison. Konas are also medium cav. They're like medium to light cav. It's like on you have the spectrum between the scout line, which is, you know, the lightest of light cav, to elite boyars, which are the heaviest of heavy cav on the other side. I'm talking about units on a horse, I'm not including like elephants and stuff. And then you probably have Tarkans and Keshiks like right in the middle, and then it's all kind of on a spectrum from there. Anyway. Villager... actually, she's going to go down. There really isn't much HP on that house. Dobbs is going for second range, but this isn't really what you're looking for. Super heavy cav is the boyar. I mean, I'd say things like Konix and Cataphracts are also very much in that heavy cav framework. Centurions as well. But again, it's not like there's a correct answer to any of this. It's all just my frameworks that I made up. Anyway, so far, everyone's booming on up here except for Metyu, who's adding in a knight and a siege workshop. Perhaps thinking that there's a bit of weakness here on this side. Chaos 2 wins on his way up to Castle Age. Dobbs is almost there, but this I don't think is going to go very well. The walls are already coming in. The Mangonel has just now started production. And it feels like Blue will likely be able to buy a lot of time. Especially because, again, Dobbs is going to be in Castle Age in just a second, and he'll have the extra HP on his walls. Latus is, I would consider, a medium cav. They're cheaper than Knights and have the faster movement speed. And instead of having more armor, they have more attack. So it's like a Keshik, but you swap the extra, you know, pierce armor and cost efficiency for more damage. Cataphracts are much more expensive, and they have the same movement speed as the Knights, so... Yeah. BB-8? Yeah, he doesn't want to do that. Siege Workshop coming in. Like I said, it feels like you're in a situation where Metyu really isn't getting his eco going. Everybody else in the pocket is. I'm not sure what Chaos to Win is doing either. That's not an Aztec Monastery. Like, what is he doing, actually? Is he going to fast imp it? Yes, he is. Still, I'm not 100% convinced that this is going to be going through quickly enough. And Dobbs is like the least important player on his team. If Dobbs just focuses on full walling and buying time for his teammates that have more impactful sibs, like that'll be a win for Team Kingstone. Overall ecos, again, it's in favor of Team Kingstone, and it's entirely because you have Dogao here, who hasn't had to do anything. Like, this has all been Dobbs handling both this flank, which he hasn't had to do much with, but especially handling this pocket area. Hola, Malamadre. I am alright. I lost almost 100 elo before the stream, so, you know. I went from one game away from 2K1 to now I'm like 1980. I faced Cloud on Arena. and then I lost, and then I lost like 5 more games in a row. It happens. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Dogao's barely having to invest into any of this. He's 30 villagers ahead. Happen naturally? Oh yeah, I'm not terribly bothered. I don't. What's Malay planning on? Well, it's going to be the 1TC Imperial Age. This makes all the sense in the world with the Malay. It's 2K2 that's coaching Elo, so I wasn't even close to coaching Elo. But yeah, where you have the huge advantage as Malay over Turks is if you're both 1TC and Malay have the fish boom, your eco's a lot better than the Turks, and you can go for this fast imp stuff. The issue is that, you know, Andy knows this, and he's just going to be focused on booming, defending, and walling until he can get to his better late game. You know, Dobbs adding in another TC, but again, it feels like Dobbs has kind of been the MVP so far, which feels a little bit weird because he's bottom score in the game, but it's all just about stalling things and allowing Dogao to not have to worry too much while he gets his own boom going. Glancing hit there. Well done from Dobbs. And now a few monks are coming in here from Chaos to win. I was wondering if you try to push from this angle or if he would just come here with his ally. I think this does make more sense. It gives you a route to attack both blue and green. We're just running into the issue right now where Dobbs is just hanging in there just fine. Dogao is still cruising along. He's adding in his monastery. He's going to click up to Imperial Age in a moment, so it's not like they're out of the woods yet, but it feels like we're so far away from Team Andy actually pushing through over here. Doobs. Little doobs. In theory, you want to push green, but Dogao's gotten the extra layers of walls down. And again, it's just Dobbs isn't worth all that much. He's freaking Vikings flank. It's not like he's going to have a whole lot soon, although the 5 idle fishing ships is a bit awkward. Vodka's going to be here, help out his ally. Andy's still very much in the castle age, so he's going to need to rely on his ally to help keep him alive. As we have this push coming in from Gray, but can see 111 vills versus 71. Isn't worth all that much. Dobbs himself would not consider himself worth all that much to push. But again, it's Dobbs' job to occupy these guys as much as possible. And he's doing a very good job of it. Like I said, he's actually, I'd say, the MVP of the game so far. Like, what's Yellow supposed to be doing here? He's on 3 TCs, 81 vills. Dogao's on 122 and on his way to the Imperial Age with Franks. I mean, Dobbs will die eventually, but it's just all about buying enough time until you get a bunch of Frank Paladins in and they kill everything. Franks are a heresy civ as well, remember. More bombards here from the Kingstoner. Andy loses a few vills, but he is on his way up to Imp. Where is Purple? Okay, so Vodka, he built a couple siege workshops over here. Just now getting getting an onager now that he's an Imp. There we go. But they realize they need to make something happen on this side. Dobbs is now getting a defensive castle. I'm not entirely sure about the light cav. I guess it's just help you with the monks, but I mean, I guess that's what the crossbowmen are ideally for, but these are Aztec monks, so I guess you can't really complain about somebody not taking them lightly. Okay, that wasn't a very good fight, Dobbs. Alright, Sabahi coming in. Of course, you want to go for your Cav Archers if possible, and I mean, Andy is going to need some help sooner or later. Castle will at least keep you safe for now. Sword Tower. And now Philip going to be adding in his own onagers. He's grabbing Halb. Castle there for Dogao. He's got a bunch of light cav for the time being. I mean, he'll want to get into paladins, and he is getting those relevant upgrades. He's even on double blacksmith. Castle isn't happening yet, but it's probably going to be here in just a moment for Philip. I mean, like I said, Slavs have a better army than do Georgians for the purposes of a game like this, but the spawn towers are very often a difference maker. Also, the castles are super hard to push. Alibs are here, though, from Vodka. Faith coming in for Dogao. Does he already have Hearsay? No. So it's just going to start with Faith and then probably get Heresy later if he can afford it. Alibs are flooding through this side. The guard towers are coming in. Siege Engineers is in for Kingstone. He's got 5 Bombard Cannons, unlike me in the game I just played where I lost all my Bombard Cannons to Castle Fire because it was like just in range. BDT for Andy. I mean, Herrics are one of the best civs at stalling. At the same time, this is a very scary push. And I wouldn't even have hated some Rams. Onager is there. SO's on its way. Even Herbal Medicine. Team Kingstone have around double the military units, although Andy have the Team Andy has the overall build lead as right now Gray and Blue are not on big economies themselves. But 200 population right now for one of the pockets in Philip. Dogao is going to creep up there pretty soon. Where is he? There he is. And he's going to send in some Cavalier from the other side. And although the Turk cannons can take down all these Georgian fortifications, it does make maneuvering around a lot more difficult. Blue out? Oh yeah, but that's what you're supposed to do. So long as Blue doesn't need to evacuate, which he doesn't, at least not right now, it's totally fine. Oh, good onager hits. Army values are comparable. And Team Andy do have the score lead at the moment, and there we go. Esso and Druzhna are both about to be here, and this is going to be Team Andy going to start to push this one back. Feels like Dogao is still a little slow to get his paladins up and running. And now, this is going to be tough. Slav Halbs, Slav Siege Onagers, you got Turk Bombard Cannons to support. I mean, these are two top tier Black Forest civs. Fully upgraded Aztec monks are obnoxious to deal with? You bet they are. Got an SO on this side as well, and Dobbs is still just trying to hold the line, but he's in Castle Age. Where are the paladins from Dogao? It just feels like Dogao hasn't done enough yet. I mean, where is he? He's got 3 kills. Got a huge boom. And yet, it feels so slow. I mean, the Halbs are already here. You got the Turk Cav Archers, and Dogao's struggling to do anything at the moment. Manaspa? Well, yeah, the Frank Paladins to kill the siege. Is he slinging? No, he's not slinging. Siege Engineers coming in. Cyan's also going to have Siege Onagers, but now the Keshiks are coming in. As Yellow, it's not like he wasn't going to be boomed forever, and Team Andy is going to be pushing. And this is going to be, well, to be fair, the castle's going to be hard to take down. But in general, it's going to be tough here for Blue to ever try and stop this. And now we got the Bombard Towers coming in as well for the Turks. This push is completely running out of steam for Kingstone. And it feels like you're just going to be getting very heavily out-civved at this point as we get into Imperial Age. Procession Indicator, you know it. Red's going to be coming in with Siege Onager. Now it feels like this is all but over in favor of Team Andy. It's just they weren't able to push the Turks here. I'm kind of surprised they just didn't try and push this side. It's not like the Tatars are going to have the easiest time defending, whereas Turks are like one of the hardest civs ever to push into. Just wasn't fast enough. Anyway, Arb's not even Arb's. He's still in Castle Age. Bombard Tower's coming in over here for Andy as well. He's on 158 villagers. Got a random castle up over here. Gonna enable more Keshiks. They do have full upgrades at the moment. And this is very, very over in favor here of Team Andy. Yet, it turns out this is not an army composition one can realistically deal with. Is that the starting scout from Philip? I think it is. No! Yeah, everything coming off here for Team Kingstone. Gray doesn't have enough pushing power. Blue's got nothing, and the Paladins are dealt with the Druzhina Halbs, and then the Georgian player doesn't really have enough to offer offensively as well. And yeah, you're just trying to push up this hill, and it just wasn't really good enough or fast enough. Did Blue even escape with Bills? I don't... Oh, no, he did. Yeah, he did. It doesn't matter, though. This game's super over. I mean, you have siege onagers, artillery bombard cannons, and then a bunch of Keshiks. And actually you do have your 19 range trebs, which isn't that bad. Garland Wars coming in to mix in some pikemen. Honestly, pretty cut and dry game. Oh, that was kind of not the SO hit you wanted there as Andy, but almost fully upgraded HCA. Just needs ring archer armor. Like, what are Malay possibly going to add right now? Arbs? What are Vikings going to possibly add right now? Nothing. I mean, he's literally dead. And you're not good enough to win this 1v2 as Dogao plus Philip, and there's the GG called. Yeah, very, very straightforward for Team Andy. Andy's KD is going to be pretty comical. You bet it is. 146 kills to 32 deaths. Metu, not bad either with all those Keshiks, but yeah, just not quite enough. Dogao, all that gold income, you just need to hit a really strong paladin timing to take advantage of the fact that yellow was behind you, and they just couldn't. All the siege got a lot of value here on this side between Vodka and Andy, and then it was all over. That is game number 1, and that was Georgians. Oh, sorry, this is backwards. Malay, Franks, and Vikings. That's a lot of top picks, honestly, for Team Kingstone. Turks are all the way pick 5? What? That's wild. Slavs, of course, very high priority. Aztecs, not as much. Tatars, definitely not as much. I mean, it felt like the civs were better for Team Andy, and they didn't even use as much priority on them. Andy, make it fun? No, there is no fun. No fun to be had. go! I've been 3 elo away from 2K2. Don't worry, NP Souls. I literally just lost, like, almost 100 elo today. How many losses in a row did I have today? I was literally 1 game away from 2K1. Okay, I won a game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 5 losses in a row. And one of those losses cost me 28 points. It was the guy who went for a Bulgarian Krepost drop into a petard bust. I forgot that you could train petards from the Kreposts. The lost elo back? I mean, I gotta. I gotta, man. Lose either more. Yeah. Anyway, be right back. Ugh. All right, they're still just. There we go. Just starting when I get back. Very, very good. All right, we are here with a pause. Yeah, that's an admin re. That's an admin re if I've ever seen one. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Yep. What's going on tomorrow, by the way? There's Doubt versus Stone Please in the Continental Playoffs, which I guess is open land maps. When's that? 9:45 my time. Then there's the league qualifier after that. So, yeah, I'll cast that tomorrow. Guys, I am bored. Any minute now. Get grotty. Next month. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's so bad, man.
By next month.
I'm sorry. I don't think I'll be able to win the 6 games in a row I probably need. Actually, probably 7 games in a row. Then Old Man Willow with the 49 months. Thank you so much, Old Man Willow. Welcome back to the Wolf Pack. All right, we will have for Team Andy, Mola in the red as the Byzantines on the flank. Metu as the yellow Persians in the pocket. Vodka as the purple Malians in the other pocket. And Andy as the orange Uwu on the south flank. Viper coach me? I don't think there's a whole lot of saving. I think it's absolutely a lack of speed and talent. Anyway. Here in the gray as the Gurjars on the flank, it will be Kingstone. So it's Kingstone versus Andy once again on the flank. We'll have Dogao in the cyan as the Magyars in the pocket. Philip as the green Bulgarians in the other pocket. And Dobbs in the blue as the Romans on the north flank. Sir Cranen, thank you so much for the 4 months. Got the triple resub here. I mean, yeah, I'm sure if I leaned hard into phosphoring, I could probably get up to 2K3 or so. But it's not how I enjoy playing Age of Empires. Also, it's probably much harder to do these days than it was when the phosphoring first came out. People are a lot better at playing against it. Anyway, like the big advantage of phosphoring was that you would do it every single game and you'd have a lot more experience playing with it than your opponent has at dealing with it. And it's something that's really hard to deal with if you're not prepared for it. Not that it isn't viable now, but it's going to be... People are in a much better spot at learning how to appropriately fight against it. It's less of a shock and like a... Oh no! But yeah, you can absolutely get wins with it still. Anyway, as far as the map goes, there are 3 choke points this time. 1 on the south, 1 in the north, and then kind of 1 over here, but it does lead to Dogao, whereas you have Vodka very far away. Triple option offense? Yep, basically. Viable Civ, why not? Yep. Like, it's good. It's not like it's a bad strategy that only works because it's a gimmick. Like, it is genuinely good, but I think in terms of optimal Age of Empires, it's always going to be situational based on your map and Civ. But, again, when it comes to super aggressive all-in strategies like that, it's... A lot of the reason people have success with it on ladder is because it requires specific things to do to defend against it. And if you don't have the experience executing the defense, it's really, really hard to figure out on the fly. Anyway, Sir Cranen gifting the sub to Arsenikos. Thank you much, Sir Cranen. Appreciate it. Welcome to the Wolfpack. Enjoy the beauty, glory, majesty, etc., etc. Regicide Rumble? Yeah, I'll certainly be willing to play in it. I don't think there were signups that I saw, though. Yes, actually. Mola kind of screwed this up. You need to make sure that your opponent can't just delete walls and walk into the base. Hello, Puppy Saturation. Yeah, this is actually not walled at all for red. Because blue could just delete the walls and walk right in. Hopefully Mola realizes that. Anyway, Metu going to be adding in a dock. Philip going to be adding in a dock. Certainly makes sense. It's only one pond per side. Bulgarians are a civ that really don't care one way or the other. Like, their fish booming and regular booming is around as good. Same with Magyar, so just going to be player preference, I think. Persians are a civ that would rather fish boom than farm boom by a little bit. Malians, it's close either way, so it's fine. Yeah, in these 5 tiles of Palisades, there's only one red. Notably, though, it is going to be the Cav player fish booming on one side, and then the infantry siege player fish booming on the other. Anyway, just, big fight here at the choke point. 5th of August? Yep. But I don't think there's a way you can sign up, right? You just have to kind of be there and be lucky, right? So, Civ analysis time. Wu versus Gurjaras. Gurjaras have a lot of, good aggressive options, and you do have elephant archers to contribute in the late game, which can still be very, very efficient, even with a Civ like Gurjaras, who don't have the best elephant archers. On the other hand, traction trebs are going to be a bit of a nightmare to stop, and Wu are pretty good with the fire archers, forward castle, and, low eco pressure like that. That's it. You have to be careful of the Gurjara siege elephants if you opt for that strategy as Andy. Looks like Andy's going to be Men-at-Arm rushing, by the way, as well. Late game, though, it's elephant archers that you can contribute versus traction trebs. Both of those units are fantastic on Black Forest. Is mostly invitational? Oh, well, then I wasn't invited. Unless T90 hasn't reached out to people yet. Anyway, pocket combo, Malians and Persians. This is kind of weird because Malians, although technically an infantry siege onager civ, your infantry's not very good. Your pikemen are terrible. Your champions are okay, but not amazing. Your siege onagers miss siege engineers. Their eco's good, but I'm very curious as to what Vodka's going to be up to because in a pure boom into late game, Bulgarians are almost comically better. Better halbs, better infantry for this sort of situation in general. Better siege. Yeah, Malians have the better eco, but yeah, Vodka's going to have to do something aggressive here. And yeah, Persians are just a top-tier Cav civ. Meanwhile, Magyars, not quite as good as Persians for sure. Persians just have a much better eco, and also Savars are pretty awesome. Those are generic paladins. Magyar Cav archers can also be an option depending on the situation, though. Oh yeah, in this flank matchup, Byzantines versus Romans, that classic east side, west side matchup. Byzantines have much, much, much better units. You have better monks, better fast imp, bombard cannons, bombard towers, cataphracts if it goes really late, fully upgraded arbalests depending on the situation, whereas you're kind of stuck with mostly scorpion stuff and a better eco with the Romans. But yeah, Byzantines are a much stronger civ in general in this sort of situation. A little bit of the S word. Couple overall eco unit lead here for Team Andy. Militia not doing anything, and you're not getting the Men-at-Arms upgrade. Meanwhile, both pockets on the way up to Castle Age here for Team Andy. What is Vodka up to? I see a barracks, and there's the staple. I mean, Malians are very good at applying Castle Age pressure, but this is not likely to do a whole lot. Red have some bugged minerals in the corner. Those would be neutral. I don't think they're bunny bugged anywhere. 8 fishing ships on the one side versus 7 on the other. Green and Cyan are both on their way up to Castle Age as well. And Dogao actually is also in a position to try and apply some sort of Castle Age pressure. Magyars are certainly not a bad civ at doing that, but right now it feels like Andy's invested a whole lot for not really getting a lot out of it. Meanwhile, Kingstone is going to be up to Castle Age in just a second. Andy's also going to click up, so it looks like he wasn't delayed too much by those Men-at-Arms, so it looks like he had a good early game. Byzantines are better in the Tower War, of course. And yeah, it's actually orange and gray both clicking up and around the same time. Curious as to what Kingstone's plan is. I feel like a castle drop into Chakrams isn't very good here, especially against the likely fire archers. I feel like you kind of want a big eco, and then as soon as they try and push forward, you smash them with armored elephants and Travamsha riders. At least that's what I would do given the situation. Eose. Oh, another tower coming in over here. The stone walls are going to delay things plenty on this side, though. Siege workshop coming in for Philip, as well as extra TCs. But this seems to be fairly aggressive posturing. Vodka not all in, neither is Dogao, so both adding in some sort of military support from the pocket position, but nothing too all in. But, I mean, I'm not super thrilled with trying to build up over here. I mean, you're already pushing through several layers of wall. It's not like Dogao's far away from this area, so he can come in and reinforce these walls very easily. Kingstone, I'm still not too sure. I like... If the idea for Kingstone is to boom and try and play a high eco style versus Wu, I like that a lot. Wu are going to be a lot happier if they're just sitting around and just going with low eco fire archer play. I mean, Held Traction Trap is a lot that Wu can offer in the late game, so it's not like they're useless. Whereas it's going to be a bit trickier to play Gurjaras, but I feel like the options that Gurjaras have can be a lot stronger. Anyway, Dogao going to try and push over here. Oh! That... No. No. No way. No way. No how. It's 4 infantry units. What? I was like, yeah, you can totally pop over that. Alright, Dogao gonna have to go onto stone right away. But honestly, the mangonels here are far more scary than anything else. Men-at-Arms about to be in. That's cute. Defensive castle here for Andy, as Dogao is trying to come in on the other side. It's actually Kingstone who's just gonna be booming away right now. A panic mining camp? Something like that. Well, the infantry units do prevent the rewall, at least in the short run. Although there's still plenty of time for Dogao to react in general. Meanwhile, nothing really interesting happening over here. Mola is just now clicking up to Castle Age. Blue is on his way up as the Romans. 5 more eco units right now for red, so, yeah. I give you and your cuz a shout out. I Sam Fog and cousin. What? Tower on BF or RF? Well, not something we see every day. Oh, Campbell's gonna clean up everything over here from Vodka. And right now, Dogao's really not doing a whole lot. 16 to 21 fishing ships. Of course, the Persian eco is not something to be underestimated here. Metu's eco is going ham. Dogao just now adding in TC number 3. Vodka's adding in TC number 4. Of course, Mali and eco a lot better than Magyar's. But like I said, you had a lot of time for Dogao to react to this, which he has done by... how exactly has he reacted to this? What? What? Green's full walled over here, and blue's full walled over there, so it's not like you're getting over to the other side, but... I don't know, it feels like you kind of needed to react more than what you have done so far. Fire archers, fire archering away. 54 vills from Gray. He's going to try and add in some camels to help out. But... Wait. What? Yeah, Siege Tower has pretty good line of sight. It sees those... Why isn't he doing something? Just attack those. Like, the vills are literally exposed. What? Attack! There's nothing stopping you. So bizarre. Anyway, Dobbs is going to be going for a huge boom here as the Romans. Mola is going to be going for the Fast Imperial. Yeah, I mean, that all makes sense. But why isn't he attacking? There's like nothing. Heavy units still have no upgrades from purple. But some monks followed up here as well. I mean, yeah, the TC is going to be under heavy threat, and Dogao is still not in a good spot whatsoever, but I mean, I guess he's not dead yet. Looking pretty grim, though. Lots of extra monasteries coming in, and blue is certainly going to be pretty hard pressed to it to try and defend against the Imperial Age stuff, but he will be on 4 TCs if he's able to hang in there. But it's also extra important because you have this fish boom from Philip that you need to make sure you can protect. And Philip hasn't clicked up yet, whereas yellow just has. I mean, it is the advantage that Persians have over the Bulgarians. Meanwhile, it's just 2 TCs here for Andy. How close is he to Imp? Okay, so he's still very far away. All right. Monks are sniped. Bloodlines, actually good upgrades here for Kingstone. And although your camels are very significantly better here as the Gurjars, it's still not a 4 to 8 plus 4 advantage. So it's still not 3 times the enemy units they have advantage. Oh my goodness, fire archers are impossible to counter. All right, forward castle here from Mola, but oh, that's a doubt castle. Oh, that seemed like it was just an overzealous castle. Oh dear. Gourd tower coming in for all of your squash-based needs. Now, I feel like you could have done so much more damage to Dogao's economy than you ever actually did. Andy was trying to go for some walls there, but those were highly unsuccessful. And now the defensive castle's finally going to be in. Vodkin in on the fire archers, so they're at least dealing decent damage to those camels. And now a big fight's happening. The knights are attacking the camels, and the fire archers are attacking the other camels. So this feels like it's about as good as you could ask for Team Andy. Doors are flip-flopping, but the camels are simply too well upgraded here for Gray. Kingstone on 86 villagers to the 60 of Andy. Looks like Mangonel was converted. The castle is going to come in, but remember, if you're Dobbs, it's all about buying time right now. There is the defensive castle now in for Dogao, who's on 67 vills. That's not super great, especially as he doesn't have any cheap units, but with the knights here, no conversion juice for the monk. Oh, the knights don't have +2 defense. Yeah, that's a big issue. And now the heals are coming in. They are Byzantine ally monks, remember, so that's a lot of units going down there. Feels like Gray probably should have added in some Trivamsha riders. Huge overall eco lead right now for Team Kingstone, in large part because Red has, like, no eco whatsoever, but the Trebs are coming. I definitely wouldn't... I guess he still feels like he needs to protect this fish boom, which is true. Still no forward castle yet, though. So now you have some forward stables coming in for Vodka, but Vodka's going to be very happy playing this style. It's on 94 vills. Having a university and a market. Is he close to clicking up? Yes, he is. But, like, you're playing an aggressive Castle Age style, and that's where Malians are fantastic. That said, Philip is coming online, and Philip is going to be in a very good spot to support his ally. This does leave Dobbs responsible for defending the fish boom, and also himself. That feels like it's going to be a tall order. Etu coming in on the other side, though. Of course, both of the pockets are going to start to come online. No nasty little Bagginses yet, though. What's the eco between yellow and green? Around 2,000 more resources for Metu, and a lot of that's actually 3,000 more gold specifically. Oh, patrol stacking? Yep. Yes, fish booms are often the most important thing. Anyway, no Bagginses and no Halb means that the Savars are going to crush everything. It's not going to be remotely close. Camels are here. They are fully upgraded. Meanwhile, Camels here are still missing a lot of upgrades, but the Fire Archer support's going to be more than enough for that. Yeah, green just not having those important unique techs. Well, specifically Baggins. It doesn't make your two-handed swordsman amazing versus Savars, but it makes them survive long enough that the Halbs can also help dish out a ton of damage. But right now, the timing advantage here for Team Andy feels like it's going to be simply too tall to overcome. Fire Archers, again, it's not like they're amazing DPS to support with, but it's better than nothing, and those on the walls are so annoying from Andy. That's really cute. Still a big eco lead overall here for Team Kingstone, but it really doesn't feel like it matters at the moment. Dogao's got nothing to his name whatsoever. He's getting obliterated. Ray is literally not able to support his ally at the moment. One armored elephant's on the way. That feels insufficient. Purple's about to be imp. Albs are here. Ooh, cannon galleons as well on this side. That's going to be important for Philip to help hold the line, but Philip has so much work cut out for him. Yeah, not too sure what those infantry units are doing. Castle number 1 is in. You have Onager. Remember, you do have a cheap siege Onager upgrade as the Bulgarians. How close is Dre to clicking up? Oh, Kingstone should have clicked up already, rushing up the university. Forward siege workshops for Vodka, and there's castle number 2 coming in. Gray and blue are both up, but it feels like it might be too little too late. Red Cliff's tactics going to help with that anti-building pressure. And right now, it's just like a gajillion Savar here. This is what Dogao needed to do in the last game, where you just completely swamp your opponents with that cavalry in early Imperial Age. You actually don't have many units at all that trade well versus halberdiers, but because your eco is so good and you have such a timing advantage, there isn't a whole lot you can do as Team Kingstone to try and stop this. We have around 50% more value. I mean, yeah, Dogao is like super dead right now. Blue will eventually go and crush red, but that's going to take way too much time. Also, nice conversion there for Mola. I mean, yeah, just look at this. It's just, you have nothing to stop this at the moment. Gray's going to try and knock over here. And it's not like the Fire Archers are amazing, right? But they're good enough. Orange also has a few monks. You're still buying tons and tons of time. Kingstone was too slow to get up. And Team Andy just looking like the better team right now. Oh, lack of armor might be just enough here for those armored Ellies. Yes, it is. Here come the camels. Army numbers are very similar. Team Andy with a slight value advantage. This side, the pikemen are going to start to come in, and if you can actually get this push going as Dobbs, that is going to be absolutely gargantuan in trying to save your team. Kingstone's imp. If he goes ahead and grabs Heavy Camel right away, which of course he will, that's going to crush the Savars, and it's going to crush the Malian player. Can you buy enough time here as Team Kingstone? They still have a slight build lead. The scores are not completely out of hand yet. Ilba again. That sounds like it'd be pretty fun. Oh, if be so careful as the Onagers are on the prowl. We have Elite Fire Archer coming in. Andy is on a pretty good army count. Dogao's base go? What Dogao base? Dogao's never in this game. It was a 3v4. It's honestly pretty unfair in a tournament, from a tournament standpoint. Where is he going for? Oh, he's going for a counterattack. Yes. Yes. Armored Elephant, Siege Elephant about to come in. And yes, they are insane for the Gurjaras, and there's literally no way you can stop this at the moment. Is it going to be enough, though, considering that you got some camels here for Kingstone? Kingstone doesn't have a castle, so he's not able to get either of his unique techs, both of which are amazing here, Kshatriyas and Frontier Guards, nor is he able to get Conscription. So that's not a great combo. There are 2 forward castles, so you can keep the push going over here. Bulgarian's not a very good defensive civ, though, so no fortified wall for them. This castle's going to go down really quickly. 2 Trebs, 3 bombard cannons. Still plenty of Savars on the field. Markets are going to be coming in. You got fortified walls from the Byzantines player. And again, I'm not entirely convinced blue is going to be able to do enough here. Need to see Onager or something. But it's like the population difference between blue and red is insane, but it really doesn't matter because neither are able to do any attacking. Fire archers are fully upgraded by the looks of things. Siege Onager coming in for vodka. Farimba Una Na as well, so that's going to be an excellent supporting tool. That's it. Kingstone is going to kill everything over here. And the big issue right now is Malians are awful against Gurjaris in this situation. I would like to see those siege elephants get a little bit more support. Which, oh, he doesn't. He needs... Well, the thing is, he needs a bunch of halbs, but his eco isn't very good. So, I mean, the push is extremely powerful from Kingstone. I just worry that they don't have enough to defend on this side. I mean, like, this isn't doing anything for... Oh, my goodness, that could be insane. Oh, my goodness, what are you... Oh, come on. That's on Philip. I mean, that's still siege rams. We have siege engineers? Yes, we do. I think. It's 240 with siege engineers, right? Right. Where's siege? Yes, it is. That's what I thought. I mean, this is getting onto the fish boom. Again, Team Kingstone's trying to hang in there. I think Kingstone himself might just be able to make this work. I mean, it's tough, right? Philip is still getting pushed. Kingstone's asking a lot of his allies, right? Hang in there while I go for this big counterattack, but it's kind of working. Really need to see Frontier Guards in, though. That's going to be huge. It completely negates Farimba. And the Gurjara camels are just a lot better than the Malian camels, as one would expect. Yep, Dogao is rebooming here at the back. He's certainly not completely dead. And now, Dobbs is coming in with the push on the other side. I mean, yes, cataphracts are going to be insane here for Byzantines, but not if you don't have any of them because you don't have any castles. And now you're only on 1 castle with another one just being built. Again, losing the fishing ships there is not something that's going to make you especially happy as yellow. He's going to need to add in actual farms, of which he has 0 at the moment. Oh no, guys. Team Kingstone with the score lead. Frontier Guards coming in. I mean, this really is a full team effort. It's the booming from blue to the counterattack, dealing with the fast imp with the help of Philip. Yeah, Dogao is kind of getting crushed, but he did get crushed at least quite slowly. Now, Kingstone himself, top score on his team. This is just, like, civ compositionally so hard to stop for this side. I mean, in general, like, what? Wu have great halves, which is good here. Malians just don't have good enough camels to stop this. Your camels are of significantly higher quality for the Gurjaras, and they also train faster and are cheaper. Well, once Kazba's in. Why isn't Dogao running? I mean, where does he have to run to? Dogao's going to try and add in some CA. Right, but right now it's like Philip trying to hang in there. Andy is more or less incapable of replenishing much of an army at all. And if Philip can hold here, this is huge. Blue is able to push without really much help from green whatsoever, just like an occasional siege onager. Now, Kingstone's going to come in with a forward castle, and look at the populations completely flipping on their head. Yellow has lost so much. He's lost all the fishing ships, guys. He's got no eco. He's having to add in all of these farms all at once. Did I say Kazba? I meant Kshatriyas. You know, K-word. Same thing. Guys, I think Team Kingstone have it really, really tough and good hold. I mean, again, it was... I don't know whose call it was, but the decision that Kingstone goes for the counterattack this way, while just relying on Philip basically to hold the line 1v2 over here, that is absolutely a game-winning move, and the fact that Dobbs was able to reboom all the way up to a big population, and then, again, it really was Philip with the cannon galleons, and then Dobbs himself defending against the fast imp from Mola. Like, honestly, really, really sick play here from Team Kingstone. Like, what are Persians going to do against this, right? Like, these Camels are so difficult to stop from Gurjaras. I mean, that's the thing with Gurjaras, right? It's situationally, they can be almost impossible to deal with. Yeah, I mean, Dogao's going to come back online pretty soon. He's on 111 bills. Now, trade is still not a thing. That's the one thing that Team Andy has going for them, is that at least the team of Kingstone doesn't have their own trade. I mean, the trade here is heavily, heavily interrupted, so it's not like this trade is thriving, but I mean, at least your opponents don't have it. Vodka's on a 200 population, but his Civ isn't really good enough at this point. Cataphracts counter Gurjara Camels? Yeah, pretty darn effectively. Because the trample damage goes through the extra armor. And, Gurjara Camels, it's 25. So... Well, I mean, Katas have 18 armor. Not good enough. Well, because Malians have to be played at some point. Half the civs are admin banned, so you're literally working with only half the roster, and every single civ, I think, gets drafted. Maybe every single civ except one, since there's an odd number of civs. Anyway. And Malians are certainly going to be a low-tier pick. Yeah, third to last pick. But again, it's all about how you use the civs. Gurjaras were the fourth to last pick for Team Kingstone. And yet, Kingstone is playing Gurjaras like they're a top-tier civ. Again, it's all about the matchups and the situations that you can create with them. Now the Cav Archers are here. I assume Dogao's gotten slung as well. Yeah, Dogao got a lot of resources. Philip's here with his siege as well. Honestly, really sick game, though. Mola's doing an admirable job trying to hold the line. He's able to regain his villager count quite effectively. I think he's also been slung. Just a little bit. And now he's going to benefit a lot from the fact that Byzantines are very significantly better than Romans compositionally here. But it feels like it might just be a little too much. Yellow's got very little to offer at this point. He's in complete shambles. Orange has his fire archers, but they're going to die pretty darn soon here. And then Fool of a Took. Thank you so much for the 2 months. I mean, yeah, like, this is very good defense here, and you feel bad because Romans are just such a bad civ in this situation. But, again, it's, you know, it's a combination of how you use your high-tier picks and how you use your low-tier picks. Team Andy trying to hold the line. The concern is, though, that with Dogao coming back online, this whole area is going to get cleaned up, which means Andy's not going to have a whole lot to do, but it also opens up the trade routes, which is going to be the huge thing. Because if Team Kingstone can get some trade going, then it's going to be really, really tough to stop. Where's the trade ending, actually? Here, I think? Palantir? I don't actually have access to Palantir's network. Anyway, still slowly pushing here is Dobbs. Looks like a bit of a raid attempt from Meteo. Kingstone loses. Kingstone's actually lost a lot of population here. He's got no gold. He's going to lose the castle, too. This castle as well is also not loving life. I mean, Red's now at max pop. I mean, again, this is just such a bad civ mismatch for Byzantines over the Romans. This still, I think, is still overall better for the Kingstoners. Because, again, they can get the trade established very, very shortly. But they've lost a lot of ground. And Orange is literally going to be on 0 castles, though, for more fire archers. He's on 40-ish pop. Everyone on Team Kingstone's at least in the ballpark of 150 to 200. Roman Corps are good against the Cataphracts, especially since the Cataphracts are missing a bunch of upgrades, but I mean, you just feel bad for Dobbs. It's such a bad matchup late game here. Byzantines are so much better than Romans. Savar number is going to be slowly climbing once again. I would have, of course, loved to have seen some Caravanserais from Mityu, but right now his eco's way too poor. They're both Romans? Nope, only one civ is called the Romans. This one's clearly called the Byzantines, who are very distinctively not Romans. And you still have some fire archers, but not really much left here for Andy. Banking coming in. It's actually going to be Dogao, who's likely going to start to sling Kingstone. Favorite civ? Mongols. I'm such a basic Betsy. My favorite civs are like Mongol, Spanish, Byzantines. But I have a soft spot for all the AOC civs. Koreans are up there for sure as well. Look at those frickin' Byzantine monks, man! I actually think they should tune down that team bonus. Hussars coming in from Dogao. They aren't Magyar Hussars, but they are Magyar Hussars, if you catch my drift. The Malian pikemen feel so bad. Still huge army value lead for Team Kingstone. Their ecos are overall looking quite solid. Vodka does have these SO. But yeah, unless Dogao really screws up his micro, the fact that it's the Magyar Cav Archers with the extra range versus the SO that don't have extra range via Siege Engineers, it's just not a great combo. Celts, I'm a big Celts fan. Not the warships upgrade? I don't think so. Just has some cannon galleons here. Oh! Bulgarians, unfortunately, no faith. Remember, you have that weird combo where you don't have faith, but you do have heresy, which is how you get the whole weird convert the Konik, and then the Konik dies, and then you get the extra unit as well. Dogao being forced back here, but of course Dogao eventually coming back online. This is the big deal, though. Well, yeah. You have Caravanin. 33 trade cards, 38, 22, and 8. Obviously, Gray needs to get his trade back up and running, but at least he's getting slung in the short run by his allies. Trade 16, 50, 58. So again, the pockets are still very healthy as far as trade goes, but the flanks, not so much for Team Andy, as this game, nobody's been given up. Camel's coming back over here. I'm curious if you want to switch into Elephant Archers eventually as Gurjaras, or if you want the Camels. I guess there aren't really many Halbs on the field, so Camels are still going to be very good. Legionary coming in. That's going to be very good against all those skirmishers. The cataphract numbers are low. The hand cannon numbers are also pretty low. Trade not able to go to all the way up to the side of the map, whereas this trade line, or trade route, I guess, is basically one side of the map to the other. Hussars coming in from Dogao, again, able to reboom and support his allies. There's still some siege onagers here. Philip's got his own SO. I don't know where they are, though. Okay, some are over here. Monastery attack? Nope. Yes, I would have preferred Kingstone to have all the way up to Hoardings and Architecture, but at least he's now getting Mass Nori. And cheap, and they train faster. They're the worst of the Ellie Archers in general, but having elite Elephant Archers is still so inherently good on a map like Black Forest that they're still totally viable. Anyway, Committence's Legionaries are here from Dobbs. And the good thing with them is, I thought Romans didn't have demo ships. Did they get demo ships? They must have gotten demo ships with the water rework. I completely forgot.
But yeah, Romans are very good at destroying bases quickly. Even if Legionaries aren't the best anti-building infantry unit, it's still a bunch of infantry in Siege, and they're good at taking down buildings. Anyway, Team Kingstone continuing to press forward here. And with this trade route up and running, I feel like they should be able to get to the army quality they need to take this game number 2 and tie up the series. More Siege coming in here from Philip. Siege Rams. I mean, look at all this forward production building from Blue. I love this, love this, love this from Dobbs. It's actually second highest score on his team at the moment. Getting Hubei. I think that's only fair. Anyway, Andy only has skirmishers right now. That doesn't feel very impressive. I mean, Siege Onagers just kind of killing each other. Let's see, Baggins is coming in. I was actually thinking about maybe another swordsman switch. It's mostly skirmishers over here. Against Light Cav, your Bagginses also still do quite well. Oh, no, 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 there for vodka. Philip coming in over there with the Siege Rams. I'd also love to see some more Armored Elephants. Paladin coming in here for Dogao. Trade is just such a nightmare right now, and Dobbs doing a great job of continuing to push. I mean, again, credit to Team Andy. They are not giving up at all. I just don't think they have quite enough oomph left. I mean, Vodka's trying to make work what he can with Malians. It's just, this isn't where Malians excel. I know, same. Then he got good, and then we didn't. Trying to stall for more time is Mole, but meh. But yeah, like I said, it really all came down to the big turning point, which was the defense over here from Philip, the defense here from Dobbs plus Philip, and then the counterattack from Kingstone. That's really what completely turned this game on its head, and it's felt like a slow but steady march to victory here for Team Kingstone ever since. The army value is like double right now for Team Kingstone. Zweihander coming in right now for purple. Oh, there you go. There. Oh, that's such a late shot 3S, man. Oh, guys, Jonathan Swordsman is not the unit we want at the moment. Oh, no. SO now with 27 kills. GG is called, and Team Kingstone tie us up at 1. Wait, Kingstone resigned! Kingstone! Don't do that! Oh, man. Oh. don't resign. Tell everyone on the enemy team resigns. Anyway, really, really impressive game. KD, best there for Kingstone. Again, it was that counterattack that was so good. Dogao being able to reboom was a huge help. He was tired of that game. GG's were already called. It's still not a good idea. Anyway, that was Persians and Byzantines and Wu and Malians, losing to Bulgarians, Romans, Gurjaras, and Magyars. All right, so what do we have here for the final game? There are 3 games in total and 12 civs, so those of you that can use the power of mathematics will know that all 4 of the remaining civs are getting played. This feels... I feel like the draft is a lot better for Team Andy, guys. I mean, look at this. Saracens, Lithuanian, Pocket, and then Shu plus 2P flank. I mean, 2P aren't very good. Kujara's lost? No, they won. I feel like Team Kingstone's going to need to make something happen. You only have one Bombard Cannon Civ with Berbers. And although I guess you have some Traction Trebs. Oh yeah, Kingstone did resign. Still giving him the win. Yeah, they're going to need to do something, though, because if we get to late game, Saracens, Lithuanians are going to obliterate everything. Shu are a very powerful flank civ. Oh, maybe we see Inca Pocket, though. We saw Inca Pocket before, and then Berbers play flank. You could see that. I wasn't super impressed by the Inca's Pocket, though. But maybe it's like, well, it's what you have to do. Or Hal Boninger. Mix in chumpies and the yuckers whenever you think you can. Let's see what we got, guys. Still the best civ. Incas are definitely the best civ of the South American civs to learn as a beginner. And they might be the best of the American civs in general. Incas are good because they're very flexible, and they have a strong early game, so they can teach you that you can play aggressively early on or defend early on and then go for counterattacks. And having the cheap trash units is definitely very solid. That said, Mayans are very simple. And so if you... That's why, like, back in the day, the tryhards would actually play Mayans, because you can learn, you know, the early game builds with them, like Drush into, or Men-at-Arms into Archers, and then Eagle Warriors. Like, they have so few units that... you know, again, you can repeat the same strategy over and over again and work on your mechanics. So sort of two different ways of approaching it. I would say that 2P are kind of medium difficulty. A lot of their bonuses are very passive, but you still kind of have to take the initiative with them. And I would say that Mapuche... Aztecs and Muisca are all very difficult to play. To counter the Hun meta? Yeah, for sure. I remember a lot of people getting mad at me because they'd pick Huns on Arabia, and then I'd pick Aztecs or Mayans. Be like, Hun War! And I'm like, you can play Huns if you want. I want to play Aztecs or Mayans. And remember, guys, tomorrow, there's the Doubt versus Stone Please Specialist Cup finals that we're going to cast. And then after that, there is the League. And that should be some pretty good ones. Suomi's going to be playing versus OS Underdogs. Counter the Huns? I mean, you have to remember that the meta was very different back then. It was really, really hard to defend early on, because your woodlines were off in Narnia, they had ponds in them, you had huge hills in front of your base, and towering was also very good, your resources were super exposed. And so the Drush potential of both Aztecs and Mayans were very, very good. And then the follow-up with a fast castle, if you're the one who's applying pressure, with Mayans, crossbowmen or Eagle Warriors, and with Aztecs, monks and Eagle Warriors. And so that was very, very difficult to stop for Huns, who themselves were a more momentum-based civ. But keep in mind that Huns typically went for feudal age pressure, whereas because Aztecs and Mayans were both so good at setting the tone of the game in the Dark Age, that it was really tough for Huns to sort of get the ball rolling, and they were kind of stuck defending a lot of the time. Aztecs in particular had a really good matchup versus Huns because they just did that Drush FC stuff so effectively. Mayans, I'd say, was a little bit more 50-50. But the Mayans were better against some other civs than Aztecs were, so it's like either or. What happened to Aztecs today? We saw Aztecs in game number 1, right? Oh, for average players? The meta is, generally speaking, much less centered around drushes and more about walling up. And the lack of mobility for Aztecs, if you don't have the advantage early on, is pretty tough. Aztecs were much happier in a world where you didn't have super fast up times. The game spent more time in Dark Age back in ye old days, so the best Dark Age civs, which were Aztecs and Mayans, were much happier and able to apply a lot more pressure. And yeah, I mean, imp timing with Elite Eagle Warriors for both Aztecs and Mayans crushed so many civs out there. Especially because you really couldn't go swordsman with anybody. Maybe Goths and Japanese, but that would be it. Yeah, quick bolts were not a thing either. Viper and Slam were like the only ones who would do it regularly. Anyway, guys, here we are, game number 3. This one, it's not actually for all the marbles because it's a play all 3 no matter what. But let's see what we have in store. First game was very one-sided. This game, second game, I guess, much less so. Dobbs going to be the blue Incas here on the flank for Team Kingstone. Dogao is going to be the green way in the pocket. Philip is going to be the cyan Muisca in the other pocket. And our Kingstoner is going to be the gray Berbers on the west flank. Ooh, I've never seen a Muisca pocket before. They do have fully upgraded siege onagers. They have good monks. And maybe temple guards are good enough. Meanwhile, on the other side, Chaos to Win will be joining the party. He'll be the red shoe on the west flank. Meti will be the yellow Lithuanians in the pocket. Vodka will be the purple Saracens in the other pocket. And Andy will be the orange 2P here on the north flank. Looks like both sides are going to lose a villager. Nope, good quick walling there from Dobbs. Assosive? Yeah, Muisca have a lot of very strong units. They just have weird units for the most part. But I really like them. I think they're my favorite of the last Chieftains civs. Although I do like all 3 civs. So, guys, we do have 4 choke points. Not that that necessarily means the game is more aggressive. For instance, game number 1 had 4 choke points and it was very passive, but we do have them here. So, 4 different choke points. This one's already walled up. This one's about to be walled up, most likely. Andy's still trying. Witcha to be buffed more. If anything, you buff him in Imperial Age. Unit feels pretty meh in Imperial Age. The FC stuff is still really good with the unit, though, so it's just a bit awkwardly balanced, but, you know, it's a new unit. That happens often. Another Vil gonna go down there. Blue's only on 9 Vils. Andy's on 10, so obviously neither are loved life. Vodka Scout's still alive. Pawn situation, I believe it is a 2 pawns total, so 1 per side. You can have Metu with the Lithuanian fish boom, which is fine, and then Philip going to be going for the Muisca fish boom. Most underwhelming? Yes, for sure. Blackwood archers were very OP. Konas, Ibirapemas felt fine. Temple guards were a little underpowered. The Bolas Riders were a little overpowered, which has just felt the weakest for sure. They have been buffed, though. That Vil shouldn't go down. Oh, but the block! The block! Nicely done there. 12 to 14 Vils in favor of Andy. We know he's a great Vil fighter. All right, guys. But Civ matchup time. 2P versus Incas. This is a classic case of 2P can get a good snowball with their Blackwood archers, but if it goes late, Incas do have the much more cost-efficient army. House is actually going to go down. That's even more annoying for Dobbs. Gold costing skirmisher? Yeah, it really isn't great. But yeah, like I said, 2P are really good on low eco, but once you get to higher eco, Incas are going to be better. I voiced the cows, by the way, in case you didn't know. Berber flank versus Shu flank. This is kind of interesting because both civs offer something very different. Berbers are very slow to get up and running, but one of the best post-imp civs out there. Cheap camels. Your camel archers are, again, one of the best end-all units. Kazva is also a great team bonus unique tech. There's a lot to like for Berbers in the late game, but they really aren't very good in low eco, so I kind of would like to see Kingstone play a more boomy style like he did with the Gurjaras in the last game. Shu, meanwhile, they are pretty decent on low eco, and the traction trebs that they offer are really, really powerful. That said, in terms of overall army efficiency, it's not very good for things that are not named traction trebs. It's going to be a lot worse than Berbers as far as that goes. So we'll have to see how this one plays out on this side. Both civs, situationally powerful, I would say. Pocket combos, Lithuanians plus Saracens, this is just, this feels, I think, the biggest hurdle. By a lot. Quick uptime for Kingstone, by the way. Well, it's just when the match was happening, Flogi. I feel like Muisca and Wei are just so significantly worse, to be honest. Like, what on earth do you plan on doing against Mamelukes? Lithuanian and Lechai. Like, these are two of the best in-class civs. Saracens play like Mongols in that you have the really strong siege and the strong unique unit, so it's a little tricky to play in terms of which you need to prioritize. And it's not like their boom is amazing. But still, in terms of post-imp Deathball, they are one of the best. Absolute S-tier civ. Lithuanians, they do have a disadvantage when it comes to getting the Lechai going versus some of the other cavalry civs. But you know, Lechai versus the Wei Aguan Cav with all their melee armor that gets ignored, it's not even remotely close. So I feel like that's going to be the big issue here for the Kingstoners and friends. Yeah, I mean, Saracens Lithuanians just feel like it's going to be nigh impossible to stop in the late game. Flank civ-wise, I think I prefer Team Kingstone by a little bit, but I feel like their pockets are so much worse than the other side that, again, it feels like a really tall order. Especially because it feels like Andy's had a much better start than poor Dobbs. Yeah, Andy 45 seconds idle time versus 2 minutes and 46 seconds idle time for Dobbs. Like, this is just a disaster. One might even call it a Dobbsaster. Andy gets the forward walls, the faster uptime. Like, again, there's literally no downside to his position. Who has the best chumpies? There is no one answer to that. They're all best at different things because they all have chumpy bonuses. Anyway, just a, you know, tower rush. It gets stopped. Forward walls come in for Kingstone. He buys a little bit more space. It really isn't that big of a deal. Neither player seemed to be likely to get a significant castle age timing advantage, so, again, nothing really to write home about. Incas overall, you know, Incas you could say are the most flexible overall, with the cost discount and the extra armor. And if I had to pick one, I would say Incas. but that isn't to say that all of the compies have situations in which they are the best. Oh, hey, this was also a thing that was happening, but obviously it was found out. Always so much to keep track of. Looks like the villager was also sniped, so yeah, this ain't doing much. Now, is Philip going to be going aggressive? He's got 3 on gold, which would lead me to believe no, he's not. But I could be mistaken. Keep traction of. Dogao's got some scouts on the way, so to say. And again, it really does feel like the Kingstoners need to make something happen here. You just cannot let this game go to post-imp, it feels, versus these two pockets. 2P Archer? That's very true. That's a good point. Weeska Chumpy, best raiders. Yeah, I mean, again, they all have their advantages. Siege Workshop coming in here from purple. Okay, so interesting. Really wanting to apply pressure. I mean, Andy knows that he has absolutely clobbered Dobbs in the early game. Remember, you do have the scout bonus damage versus siege, or it's just cavalry bonus damage, right? That honestly might be better as scouts bonus damage, honestly. I don't think your Tiger Cav and Hagwon Cav need extra bonus damage against siege weapons. Okay, yeah, so Philip's booming. Just gonna get a monk, convert the militia, and then go for relics. You can't. Well, I mean, that's the whole thing with the 2P, right? Is that their units complement each other with a big old swarm of them. But missing Blast Furnace is huge because the units have pretty low base attack. Why you pick Inca and Weeska together and Wei and Berbers? I mean, this is all feels like all sorts of Team Andy had the better draft. Oh, rip that Cav. Or Scout Cav. Yeah, this feels really bad, actually. Oh, he's trying to go aggressive. Oh, I thought that Dogao was coming in to help out his ally. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh no. Oh, this is a disaster. This isn't going to do anything, I think. Andy's in Castle Age, so he gets the Castle Age stone walls. Guys, remember Dobbs. Remember what he brought to this world as a player. Think of the time that he was able to make that push happen as the Romans against Byzantines, and not as the time when he's absolutely gonna be getting obliterated. Oh, rip, man. Meanwhile, Vodka adding in the eco behind this so it as not to be completely all in. This push, like I said, it's not doing anything useful at the moment, and even then the camels are going to come in from Saracens and kill all this stuff anyway. Oh, no. There's one monk. Good deletions there. This is... There's Roman glory time. Sorry, Bulla. You had a decent attempt there to defend, but you didn't have the eco, as I'm sure you knew. 4 TC is going to be here in total for Kingstone, but this just feels... It just feels so bad for Team Kingstone. I mean, Blue did escape with a lot of vills, right? It does matter escaping with 30 villagers versus 10 villagers. But it's not like Dogao even has an advantage over Vodka. Like, Vodka has more camels that counter these light cav. He's been helping with this push over here. And he's going to start Blackwood archering. I wonder... I feel like this actually might be a mistake from Andy. I feel like if Andy just added a gajillion TCs, that might just be even more unstoppable. Because, like, what do you need the Blackwood Archers for right now? Unless you plan on instantly killing Dogao, which I don't think you can do. I feel like you just want to add an eco and then get to late game. But no, he's going for the petards. It's not like you're against, you know, top-tier siege civs. I mean, it's okay for the Muisca. I mean, they give you the siege onagers, but... eh. Running in with camels? He's worried about running into the monks and mangonels. I think he's being a little overly cautious. Why are half the civs banned? Otherwise, we'd just be seeing the same civs over and over again. It's important to have civ diversity when you have a tournament that only has one map played. This allows all the civs to be seen. Yeah, I mean, it could just be Vodka saying, I'm against Dogao, I don't want to try and force something to happen, but it is a mistake, for sure. DEI, yeah, it's basically Civ DEI. And like actual DEI, it turns out that having that diversity is still important for making things better overall. Fourth TC coming in right now, and I mean, overall, we could say green and purple are basically similar. Camels still have no upgrades, by the way. Oh no, the villager is right by the petard. Anyway, finally, this should be extremely one-sided. I mean, nah. You got some of the rest back. There you go. Again, I feel like Andy should have just been adding in TCs sooner. Yeah, the issue with the Muisca is that their pikemen are just truly awful. Metu's actually going to be the first op on the way to Imperial Age, although Philip's going to be hot on his heels. Looks like Metu might have had a little bit of a better boom. This will likely be for Temple Guards. What will Philip go for? Temple Guards, I think. You a Temple Guard Siege Onager, I think. How's this side going? Chaos 2 wins on his way up. 57 vills only. It's really not very impressive. And I honestly kind of like how Kingstone's been approaching this a little bit more. DEI stands for diversity and equity, inclusion? Some sort of equalish word. It's basically become, the right uses DEI as a talking point for basically everything we don't like about things that advantage minorities. Whereas the left doesn't want to use the phrase at all because, again, the right just uses it as a, things we don't like about minorities. Anyway, forward castle here from Andy. His eco's still not very good, though. And, okay, Philip's actually going to be starting with the Chompies. I think this actually makes plenty of sense. All right, defensive castle coming in here. Chompies are coming in. I don't know. Dogao still feels really dead. We know blue is really dead. Never comes up. Well, again, it's one of those things that I don't know how the left is so terrible at branding. Like, it's honestly astounding at how bad they are at messaging. But, yeah. All right. Imp is in over here. And at least you are going to start traction trebbing. Honest in that sense? I mean, I guess. Oh, that's just now getting double bit access and feel great. All right, Treb's coming in here from Philip. Oh, did Yellow get all his relics? There's 11 relics on this map, I believe. 1 over there for Metiu. At +3 attack right now. Now, here's the interesting thing. Muisca Chompies, for those who don't remember, have the advantage that they have extra melee armor, so 6 melee armor in total, which is obviously quite good. It'll help a lot, actually, against camels. Camels will deal 1 damage a hit to them. That's really bad. And then with Herbalism, dude! They also get the faster movement speed, but you do miss Blast Furnace, so you miss out on some damage yourself. Again, I still don't love this from Andy, though. Like, this is going to get pushed back. You're on 3 TCs now, but it's not like you're getting imp anytime soon. The bill counts are even between the two sides. These Chompies are going to start murdering everything. They'll kill the Blackwood Archers in 2 hits. He's trying. And this is the issue, right? The Leichai are going to crush the Chompies. They ignore that melee armor, and it's just a very good unit matchup. Elite Temple Guard need to come in. It's actually such an awful matchup here with the Leichai. Got some Berber Camels, actually. I mean, it's going to prevent the Leichai from doing everything here, but who's going to stop Metiu? Look at this score. 9,000 score for yellow. I mean, your pikemen are so bad. You need the Temple Guards. Now, Temple Guards are very good. They have a lot of HP, which helps a bit versus the Elite Latus, which, as, you know, Leichai are better against units with high armor, low HP than vice versa. I have honestly never seen this matchup before. Elite Latus versus Elite Temple Guard with good upgrades. I mean, I have no idea. I feel like the Leichai are still probably too good, but I can't say for sure because I've never seen the matchup. Meanwhile, going to be Cavalier over here. Kingstone's doing super well on his side. That castle's going to go down, though. Imp is going to be in here for Vodka in just a moment. Still have some Blackwood Archers helping out, although they're probably not doing too much. Leichai just missing 1 relic. Temple Guards will have the faster reinforcements. Yeah, I mean, the Leichai is still doing work. It's not that bad for the Temple Guards, but it's not amazing. And now Elite Mamluk is coming in. Team Kingstone trying to hang in there, though. The populations are still quite competitive. Again, Kingstone is going to win this side. And the fight happening before the Mamluk upgrades really come in is huge, of course. Well, Temple Guards are already extremely good. They definitely don't need any buffs. I mean, we're talking about, I think, in my opinion, one of the most broken units in the entire game here with the Latus. But this is better. I mean, this is better for Philip, guys. Look at this. That's just a matter of numbers. This is so huge, though. Can Kingstone, by crushing this side, force yellow back, which gives more time over here? Andy is an imp, though. He still has the castle up here, which is huge. But now with Mamelukes in, I feel like you're probably beyond what you can accomplish. Blue's not doing anything right now. I mean, Red, all he needs to do is just die slowly. I just don't think you do. That's why I've been talking about it all game. More Temple Guards coming in, but the Mamluks are going to shred them. Green's not an imp. Blue's not an imp. Blue's trying to reboom. He's going to click up soon, but... Oh, Leichai coming in over here and getting more value. The values are actually quite similar, although the numbers are... Or, no, never mind. What am I talking about? It's double right now here for Team Andy. But yeah, we're looking at, in my opinion, two of the most powerful units with the Lei Chai and then the Mameluke. And there's the GG called in Team Andy through honestly better drafting. I mean, I think it was better drafting plus this one-sided win where Blue got knocked out of the game completely. Dogao didn't really have a good civ to do anything with. Philip did what he could given his situation, but there's only so much he could do. Same here for Kingstone. I mean, I think he did well given the circumstances. But yeah, it's just unfortunately not competitive. 126 kills here, but no solidarity resignation. SMH. But yeah, well done there for Team Andy. They will get the first victory. It's a bit interesting because we have a bunch of different tournaments going on all at once. But we still have several more rounds to play, so it's not like anything is going to be completely dunzos. Team Barles versus Team Sato is not for several more days. This tournament's going on for over a month. Wow. Be fine? Yep, that's what I would do. I mean, it's a unit whose strength should be coming from their armor-piercing ability. But as it stands right now, the unit has the highest base attack of all regular cavalry units. And then also has the armor-piercing ability, right? It's like they should have one or the other. But yeah, really well done there from Team Andy. Good series. Not one-sided at all. And I'll be really curious to see how this one is going to be going in the future. And then, like I said, for tomorrow, Doubt versus Stoneplace will cast in the morning, 9:45 my time. And then there's going to be some league qualifiers after that. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow.